Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of Super Rugby Pacific. This one is a pretty substantial one for the overall season. The Chiefs going head-to-head with the Brumbies. Now, the Brumbies, ever since the start of Super Rugby Pacific, have only pulled off one victory over this Chiefs side. And outside from that, it has been pretty one-sided, although not many games taking place at GIO Stadium. So this game's got a little bit of intrigue around it. Hopefully it is a very good one indeed. Looking through at the starting lineups. First of all, massive achievement for this man in the number 1 jersey. James Slipper is now the most decorated Super Rugby player of all time. He surpasses White Crockett and now has more caps than anyone else in the world. A Super Rugby, Billy Pollard at 2 and Darcy Breen. He slots in as the 3, Nick Frost and Cadron Neville. It's the locking duo with Rob Bellatini, Rory Scott and Charlie Cale. As that number 8, Ryan Lonergan alongside Declan Meredith as that 9 and 10 combo. Corey Tall out on the left wing. Hudson Crichton comes into the starting lineup due to that injury of Filiwai, or it was a head knock that he did suffer last week. Caden Pritchard at 13. Coyotes out on the right wing. And then Andy Muirhead, he is there as the number 15. In terms of the Chiefs side, looking through, Jared Prophet back into the team. Samasoni Taukiaho and Ruben O'Neill as their number 3. Josh Lord alongside Tupavai as the locking duo with Simon Parker, Jerome Brown and Luke Jacobson captaining the side. From the number 8, Cortez Ratama and Damian McKenzie at the 9 and 10. Tino Nana Satoro out on the left wing. Quinn Tapai and Daniel Rona in the midfield with Leroy Carter and Liam Coombs-Fabling close out the starting side. I like Muirhead and Valentini, rate them both. Says Zakaya there. Muirhead's got that little bit of change in pace, doesn't he? As soon as he accelerates, he can create attacking chances for the Brumbies. He's done it time and time again throughout the season, but they are in much need of a big performance. They are 2 in a row that they have lost. We have good there, just incredible, especially for a front rower. Yeah, over 200 caps for James Slipper. Some teams, you know, depending on experience, when they go on experimental, they probably wouldn't have 200 caps amongst their whole starting pack. Whereas James Slipper has just been out there time and time again for the Brumbies. They could have had him bring it up in the last contest, but they did want to have it be special, have it as the game that takes place at GIO Stadium rather than being one that happens overseas. I'm telling you, if we had a Holland, the Argentinian lock and Dylan Pledger, we would actually be better. We are so bad it's sad. We've got 4 fantasy players in this game if you want to know them. So throw them in the chat. Let us know who you got. I assume you've got Damian McKenzie. A lot of people seem to on their side. And currently, of course, there is a game going on between the Black Caps and South Africa. Currently, Devon Conway started to hit the ball quite nicely. Same with Latham. New Zealand needing 90 runs from 90 balls to be able to win the one. Slipping in all those games, says Big Rig. And also we've got their D-Max, says Daniel Cox. Lonergan, Scott, Meredith. Great team, says Ruth. Yes, some very handy players for both of these sides. Just looking through at previous fixtures, we will look through at the games that have taken place throughout March. So for the Brumbies, they have played 2 games. They lost that lightning delayed game up against the Reds, 34 points to 31. And then that game up against the Fijian Roar in Fiji, defeated in that contest 42-27. That was the first time ever that we had seen the Fijian Roar actually beat the Brumbies in Super Rugby's history. So the only side that have never beaten, that the Fijian Roar have never beaten now is the Brumbies opposition in this game. The Chiefs have never gotten the defeat up against the Fijian Roar. They have always been the winners there. Their most recent game was a dominant one over Moana Pacifica, winning 57 points to 24. But those are the previous results of March. We have got there. How is the weather there, Hamish? Are there any late changes so far? Not that I've heard of for the late changes. And weather-wise, the coverage still has race cars at the moment for us here in New Zealand. We've got to wait till 9:30 to start seeing the actual field coverage for Canberra. Not many slender rugby players, at least among the men. That is because anytime there's a slightly thinner player, they get told to bulk up, or else then no one sees them as a threat at international level. That's the sad reality of nowadays. If you're not weighing over the 100 kgs, if you're other than maybe a 9 and a 10, people say that you're too small. Rowe ain't starting, is he? Says Highlanders fan, it should be Cortez Ratama, but Rowe has snuck his way in. But yeah, Ratama is actually starting. But that is the typo on my part. We have got there hat-trick for the Canes tonight. Fihi Finianofo managed to get himself the 3. But outside of that, I think No one else got 2 in that game, I don't believe. 1 Brumbies, 8 Brumbies, 9 Chiefs, and 14 Chiefs. So James Slipper, Charlie Cale, Cortez Ratama, and also Leroy Carter are your 4 that you've gone with. It looks like James Slipper's parents are making their way out onto the field at the moment for the big moment. If he scored put downs, he still scored a hat-trick, didn't he? They don't put on the book he got a hat-trick, but unfortunately they were run-ins. Like they 3 tries, 3 awarded, and a hat-trick for Finianofo. We have there Terry Wright, the thinnest rugby player I've seen. Even Ian Jones is bad to the bone. And also I hope the Chiefs coaching team are not in the same box as the Bulldogs coaching team, says Nada Boy. But the milestone match, it's a lot of support for James Slipper in the stands, and he would love nothing more than to have this record-breaking matchup be a big victory. Hello, how are you doing? Says Hannah. Doing very well. Hopefully you are doing well too. South Africa, the cricket struggling a little bit here, but still plenty of matches coming up later on the weekend for the URC, where we will see South African teams do very nicely. Brumbies are winning, been playing well this season apart from last week and the week prior. Although you could argue that the week prior they should have won that game up against the Reds and just let it slip the final hurdle. But yeah, it will be very intriguing to see how they answer back here. Up against the Chiefs, they have only won the 1 game. I believe that was back in about 2022. That was in Waikato, 38 points to 28. Outside of that, though, it has been all Chiefs, including the last 3 games that they've played up against the Brumbies, where they've brought up 35 or more points. So it's going to be a big one for the Brumbies if they can get over the line. But the last 3, of course, have not been played in Canberra. How good was Gaines? They did very nicely in their game. And Clark Laidlaw, I mean, talk about a ruthless coach. He pretty much said after the game they could have had more points and probably should have. Thomas Jenkins got a hat-trick for Panthers versus the Roosters. Says Fortnite NBA. And in my fantasy team this week, I've got D-Max, Slipper, Kale, Leroy Carter, and Ryan Lonergan. Brumbies look bad against the Drua. Says just poker. Yeah, so they will want to bounce back. I feel like there has been no side this year that has looked good in every single one of their games. The Brumbies have had a couple roughies in there, but they'll be looking to fire back now. Let's go. Mitchell Barrett is back. Says Fortnite, and I'm doing well. Says Anna, so that is fantastic to hear. I know Man City were playing last week. Do they have a game this weekend, Hannah? I don't even know if it's Premier League at the moment or whether it's back to still Champions Cup. Both sides make their way out of the tunnel now, ready to go for this contest. Damien McKenzie, one of the keys. Tolkiaho out there too. Jacobson and Lonergan, the 2 captains, leading their teams out onto the field. New Zealand have just finished their power play up against South Africa. They were going at 8 and over with 48 for none. I'm so looking forward to Canes versus Blues next match. Says just Man City are out of the Champions League. They are, but I don't know whether or not next week it's Premiership or whether it's still Champions League. So that's why I asked. We have there. Leroy got 91 Super Rugby points in his last game, says Daniel Cox. How does the Brumbies got next year or next week? Next week, what we will do is we'll show you the way that it sits. These are the upcoming games that are happening. So they've got the Waratahs next weekend. For the Chiefs, they are playing up against the Western Forces, that last game on the Saturday night. James Slipper now making his way out onto the field. Both sides having a bit of a guard of honour for him. A great moment for that man and a mutual sign of respect between these 2 sides as well for the special occasion. Massive smiles on the faces, except for Stephen Larkham. He looks like he's very angry, but he always does. Even when he looks like he's smiling, he's actually really not happy with what's going on. But he knows that his side, 2 games in a row, that they have suffered defeats. I know James Slipper's children are crying. Unfortunately, she's not happy with the fireworks. But the most capped Super Rugby player of all time, 203 matches and still going for Slipper here too. We have got there, so it's not Champions League for them. So why the sarcastic comment? Because you didn't listen, Jordan. Was the gist of it. I pretty much said, because of insinuating that they were out of the Champions League, was it Champions League this weekend? If so, they wouldn't be playing. And then if it was Premier League, of course, they would be playing because they are still in that competition. Stephen Larkham looks younger than he did when he was playing, says the Sporting Kiwi. And also, we've got there on Sunday, they are playing Arsenal in the final of the Cup. Other teams are playing Premier League. There are no Premier League games till the 11th of April. Says Hannah. So, okay, so quite a big gap in that department then. Well, hopefully they can bounce back up against Arsenal, seeing as you've been waiting for that victory. But 203 caps. What, OMG, I can't. Says Jordan, well, just listen next time and you'll go a long way. Nick Berry, he is going to be the man in charge of this one. It's a nice sweep shot there from the Black Caps. They currently sit 53 for none of 6.5 overs. And never mind, I can't be bothered. Neither. But now kicked off here by the Brumbies. It's going to be underway in this contest. Nicely taken by the Chiefs and Quintupire just outside of the 22. I remember when Arsenal were a top team. I think you're the guy talking in riddles. Well, you're the guy annoying everyone today. So I'd rather talk in riddles, to be fair. Big 6 there from the Black Caps. Kick to touch from Cortez Ratama. And he's what a lashing. Yeah, that last score was not even close, unfortunately. Wonder what Nick Berry's favourite berry is. I wonder how many times in his life he's been asked that. Probably too many to count. Now Lonergan, little chip in behind, attempted there by the Brumbies, chasing after it, but well cleaned up by the Chiefs. I've barely annoyed anyone today. I think if we took a poll, there would be quite a few saying yes. You've annoyed me, and that was within like 5 minutes of the first stream. Now Ratama going off to Damien McKenzie. Nice carry from Profit back into the starting lineup. He didn't actually play that game after facing up against the Crusaders. McKenzie looking for the cross kick again. And that one's gone just over the top. Let's not talk about football on a rugby stream. I've literally given about 15 cricket updates today. So is cricket outside of that? Or is it that football's like forbidden on rugby streams, but cricket's fine? I've been watching the NRL a lot more this year, says Badass. And there as well. Having a bit of a sideline interview at the moment. They're talking about the Brumbies. They've got a lot riding on this to not lose 3 in a row. It's international football following the 2 weeks of the last 4 World Cup places. Now nicely taken. Why are the Brumbies at line-out time? Why is Kieran Tumafilau not playing? That's a good question. He just doesn't seem to get starting minutes, unfortunately. Like, Amoni Nutter was out, and they still don't have somewhere for him to be in the team. So it just is a bit disappointing. Like, he's going to be probably like 1 injury away from coming in, but it could be the whole season, and Tumafilau might get 5 games, which is a sad reality. Penalty there. Now the Brumbies again are going to kick this one towards the touchline. Currently got the speakers blasting summer of 69 in Canberra. And do New Zealand even have a soccer league, or do they play? Or they play with the Aussies? They play with the Aussies in the A League, Auckland FC and Wellington Phoenix. And stop being annoying. I'll put you in a timeout, says Badza. Terrible showing by the Landers. Yeah, they started well. Unfortunately, from there, it just seemed to go downhill. Overthrown line out from the Brumbies. Oh, was it knocked on by Tupai? No. Does get rolled as backwards. And this game makes me nervous. You put him in a timeout. He touched my naughty part, says Sock. Now kicked in touch by Tenai Nanai Saturo. As good as Liam Coon's fabling is, I would have put Tumafilau over him. Definitely with the fact that they've been training Tumafilau a little bit as a fullback option. Or you go at Tenai Nana Saturo at 15 and then stick Tumafilau out on the wing. What a one that is from Billy Pollard. Just couldn't quite link up with his teammate on the outside. I think it was Nick Frost flying down the wing. Pollard couldn't quite get his hands. Go back far enough to get the pass in. A drop catch there from the Proteas. Also, by the way, Mod, you aren't very active. I barely see you on here. Stop threatening me. What specifically have I done apart from hyping Siali Lawakai? But you wouldn't see me hyping him up, says Jordan. Well, you've just been annoying all day, really, if we're being honest about it. You've been complaining about everyone who isn't Siali Lawakai. It's the same as the cricket stream. You made the cricket one of the most unenjoyable streams we've done on the channel just from your constant whinging and moaning. If we're being honest. But, you know, you put a very negative taste in the chat's mouth, unfortunately. If we're being honest. Isn't Nick Frost an actor? Not that I know of. I don't know if he's been in any shows in Australia, Nick Frost. Ryan Lonergan about to feed this ball in. Another 6 runs for the Black Caps there too. Now this one's going to be rolled in, nicely taken at the back. Lonergan decides to use it quickly. Gets it on to Declan Meredith. Now about 12 metres out. Lonergan almost sniping straight through. He's going to be 1 metre short there for the Brumbies. About 3 men getting in the breakdown. Wide cut out pass to the right. And Hudson Crichton goes in and scores the try. Brumbies strike early in Canberra. And Jordan, this is what happens, says Johnny. And Boo says, Jasmine not happy with that first conceded try. Although, I'm sorry to anyone who is a Highlander supporter. The Highlanders did score first against the Hurricanes and they went on to lose by 43. So, it's not over yet. You know, you can concede the first one. Nick Frost is a British actor. What is he in? Oh, Shaun of the Dead. Which one's Nick Frost? Is he the short-haired... No, that's not Nick Frost, is it? I'm trying to think. He's one of that first, 4 or 5 group, isn't he? In World's End as well. He's the slightly shorter, stockier one, right? Maybe. Now Ryan Lonergan lining up this kick. Away was the previous game earlier on. So one-sided. I think it's just the way that it worked out. The Hurricanes got a lot of penalties. Highlanders said in the post-interview that they just felt like they weren't really finding their momentum and they were getting penalised too often throughout their game. Some tough lovers, justice, mate, says JP. And the Black Caps 71-0. Yeah, they keep on going at the moment. 71 for none, I should say. 7-0 in this game for the Brumbies. That one's going to be kicked off long. Hot Fuzz Shaun of the Dead, Harry Potter. I'm going to have to look him up now, I think, because I'm thinking of a guy in my head, but I think is his name Sean Penn? Maybe not. Who's Nick Frost? Nick Frost, actor, we'll have to type in. Actor, yeah, that guy. It's not going to focus. I didn't realise his name was also Nick Frost. So there you go, Simon Pegg is who you thought of. What did I call him? Simon Penn, didn't I? Almost got there. Now 25 metres out from the line at the moment. The Chiefs on attack. Tupavai goes to Lord. The Locks linking up there. Now Rona runs straight up the middle of the field. Offload to Ratima. The step there, but Muirhead makes the last-ditch tackle. I go, Chiefs, don't make me cry. Says Jasmine there. Now driven sideways. Rona, that's a clean steal for Kai Oates, who then runs up the middle of the field. He didn't really have a huge amount of support, so he decides to boot downfield is the better option. Liam Coombs-Fabling just watches it into touch. But a good territory gain there for the Brumbies. Off of a brilliant steal. Deciding to take this one quickly though. Short side is on offer. And now kick downfield from Liam Coombs-Fabling. Doesn't go out on the full. Instead, it's going to be claimed at the back by the Brumbies. Now kick downfield. This one's bouncing. And it's gone dead. Too much on it. And we'll go right back to where the Brumbies kicked that one from. The Chiefs probably gained about 60 metres up the field. Easy game for the Brumbies. And also we've got the Canterbury or Otago. Which one do you support? I mean, I don't mind either, to be fair. We're considered South Canterbury where I am, but you can drive 5 minutes south and you're in Otago. So it's kind of it's just dependent, really. But I like both of them. And Chiefs out of form. Yeah, they've had the bye last week and then the week prior to that getting the victory over Moana Pacifica. Brumbies 2 losses in a row heading into this game, so they would be probably argued as the out of form side. Greyhounds are cute. Okay, I missed the Greyhounds, whoever said that earlier on. There was obviously something said about them. Fence sitter. Yeah, it's just, I can't pick. I actually, the problem is a lot of the players kind of rotate between the teams too. But it was nice seeing Otago get themselves the shield. Quick tap taken by the Chiefs. It comes to that scrum. Wide cut up past McKenzie. Just a bit too much on it for a Tino Nanasatoro to bring it in. Now it will be the line out or scrum for the Brumbies. The players' jerseys are nice and shiny, but the ones at Rebel Sport are nothing like that. Yeah, see, they have the performance kits, don't they? A little bit similar to what you see for the international side of things. It is also, we've got to remember, because they're like playing under lights, so that can kind of affect it a bit. But normally the performance kits that these guys wear are like the $220 ones, whereas the ones at Rebel Sport Max are like I think $150 or $120 or somewhere around there. Now McKenzie, cross to Jerome Brown. Oh, low ball from Ratima, has gone backwards. I think Nanasatoro gets the offload away. That one's kicked out on the full from Liam's Coons Fabling. How far into the game are we? We are currently sitting 10 minutes in, just past the 10-minute mark. Good evening, Hamish. Tonight I have my $2 on Tupavai to get a try. Probably not a bad choice. He scored a couple tries recently. Scored in that game up against the Blues in the first round, and then also managed to get himself the try up against Moana. I think he scored the last try, right? Brumbies getting third loss in a row today. Sears given. Leroy Carter takes inside of his 22. Returns fire with a kick of his own. Poor option from the Chiefs. Sears Nuttaboy. How many tries in the first half, please? I think we'll see probably 3 or 4. I don't think it will be a massive high-scoring half, even though the last few times the Chiefs have been able to bring up 35 points up against this Brumbies team. I just don't see them absolutely flying here. I think it'll be a bit of a slow, methodical build. Now Pollard throws it in. That one wasn't too straight, but the Chiefs didn't throw someone up. I'll put high from Declan Meredith. Now trying to get the steal in the breakdown for Andy Muirhead. I believe he was all right, but Rob Valentini hadn't rolled away in time, so penalty goes the way of the Chiefs. This is the best rugby dedicated stadium for me. Reminds me a little bit of Waikato Stadium. Yes, see, I have a couple times, I'll be honest, I've just put FMG Stadium as the background and no one's actually told the difference when these guys are playing. Of course, this one is GIO Stadium, but it's got a very similar layout, definitely in the background on the far side as FMG. However, I'll smile, be happy, don't be too grumpy, says Johnny. And I'm super grumpy, says Jasmine, after the way that the Chiefs have started, although the ball is on the side of the Chiefs now. Jerome Brown can't quite sneak his way through. Now Ratima going off to the left-hand side. Quinn Tupaia there. My Wi-Fi just went down for a minute, but I'm back now, says Hannah. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. I'm not sure if you were here for the Brumbies try, but they did manage to score it before with Hudson Crichton. Currently sitting 7-0 up in this contest. Jerome Brown, another carry for him. This is also up against his old side, I should mention. Now right, Liam Coombs Fabling almost playing as a first receiver. McKenzie at second, and he charges up the middle. Ratima on the inside. Lonergan trying to take him down. Huge collision there. The Brumbies defenders, ball stolen in the breakdown as well for the Brumbies. Brilliant bit of defensive work to stop the Chiefs again. I think that again was Declan Meredith. He's had a crazy start to this game. I'm never grumpy. I get agitated. Then I have a strong coffee and chocolate. And no support for Ratima, says Nuttaboy. And yeah, it was just great work from Ryan Lonergan to keep the pressure on him for long enough that someone else could come over and give him a bit of a hand. Looks like New Zealand is going to win the cricket match. It does. 56 from 65. If they did lose from here, it would be very surprising. But they got a bit of a stoppage at the moment. I'm not actually sure what that was for, whether or not that's drinks or some sort of injury, maybe. Oh, ball stripped, and interesting call there from Nick Berry. So he's pretty much said it was a strip, so it was fine, but you stripped it towards their goal line, so that is ruled as no try. Up your game, Parker. I'm disappointed in you, says the Sporting Kiwi. And Brumbies have come to play, and apparently later in Auckland in winter, and cool air pools at GIO Stadium because it's built sunk into the ground. And this game sucks. I might change my mind, says Jasmine. You will want your Chiefs to get onto the board soon. More so sooner rather than later. They are just showing some highlights of James Slipper. That man is now the most decorated of all time in Super Rugby. Now scrum. He's going head to head with Ruben O'Neill today, James Slipper. Moving away to the left-hand side, Corey Toole. Oh no, it's going to be ruled as knock on. So the Chiefs have now got themselves a scrum feed about 32 metres out near the middle of the field. 2 handling errors so far for the Chiefs compared to the 1 of the Brumbies. This is actually starting in a similar fashion to what we saw for the Highlanders Hurricanes game. How quite a few scrums right from the get-go. Corey Toole hasn't really found his form so far this year. There's Jordan. Yeah, he needs one, I think, big game. And hasn't been this one as of yet. He's hardly had the ball. But still time for him. Brumbies will win. Says Aaron Rex. And also, I just finished work. What went wrong for the Highlanders? Do you know? They had a bit of a discipline problem throughout their contest. But I think it would have taken a lot more than that to get them the victory. Has he even scored a try? I don't know. I think he's scored a couple. Corey Toole. 1 second, I'll find out. I've got an app that will tell me. Oh, close to the sideline there for Leroy Carter. Just manages to stay in the field of play. Simon Parker now. Not many anyway, says Jordan. Seconds, we go Corey Toole. We chuck him in there. And it says network error, so I can't see at the moment. Another mistake there. Chiefs are not too happy about it either. It sounds like it could be something. Needs to be checked. Unlucky use, says Johnny. Parker's BFM, big for nothing. And come on, Toole, slippery slipper, says Ruth. Okay, so they've said that Andy Muirhead, I don't know how you can say he was in a position to catch that ball. They've ruled it as just a knock on, which is impressive, is all I'm going to say. But as everyone knows, to beat the Brumbies in Canberra, you have to work very hard. And you also need to get a couple calls in your favour. Yeah, that's really bad that that's not a yellow, or at least a penalty for the Chiefs. I don't think I've seen a more blatant. Well, we've seen a few blatant ones, but that one was very blatant. I've been listening to some of your old live streams this week while I've been doing my studies. How old are we talking? Are we talking like last year, or are we talking very early days? It's very early days. It's a wee while ago. That's about 6 years, I believe, or about 5.5. Now going off to the right, Quintupaya, Tino Nana Satoro, now Coombs Fabling has the man with him, sold about 4 dummies, slides over, does he score the try? They're going to be checking this one, the Brumbies doing well to scramble. Elbow down, no penalty, says Nutter Boy. Right, they are going TMO, just last year's ones. Okay, that's all right then. And please be a try, says Jasmine. Checking for the grounding. So he does roll there. Liam Coombs Fabling. Oh, straight into the eyeball. And that's down from Liam Coombs Fabling. A great finish from him. Good evening, brother. Good to see you, bro. Well, good to see you, bro. Letting you know this ref, I believe, has yellow undies on. Chiefs, please be a try, says Justin. But they have managed to score the try anyway for the Chiefs. And it now makes the score much closer between these two sides. I was meant to put a bet on a red card this game, but I accidentally put it on the Hurricanes game, says Pro Pleb. Yeah, only the one yellow throughout that game, right, of Xavier Numia. Amy McKenzie smiling at the post. A card for knocking the ball long, going for an intercept is rubbish, is bad to the bone. It is, but it's in the laws. Like, it's what they've got. I know that in the NRL, it's almost encouraged to try and slap it down, which makes sense in a way, because you want to stop a chance of a try, don't you? But, yeah, in rugby union, anything like that, unless you're playing for the Brumbies in Canberra, is normally considered yellow card. Brumbies are getting third loss today, says Given. And the Chiefs says bad to the bone. Yes, I like this game more, but not by much. A nice kick too, says Zakai. So yeah, now sitting 7-all between these two sides. Nice take there from Tupavai. Being told to use it. Now Jerome Brown just outside of the 22. So this one can't go out on the full, I don't believe, for Cortez Ratama. Almost a quarter of the way through this contest already. Two sides being very competitive at this point in time. Nice take there from Andy Muirhead. I think there will be a rare card this game, and this is great. I'm listening to your commentary whilst I'm watching the game live. Says Justin. Looked like a decent crowd. At least from what they showed, Justin. I know a lot of support for James Slipper. But if he manages to do something well, the crowd is going to go absolutely crazy, I would think. Ball's been stolen in the breakdown there by the Chiefs. Now out to the left, Liam Coombs Fabling, smashed into touch by Pritchard. Got his kick away first. 50-22 was half by on. Offload there from Muirhead. Big driving tackle on Curry Tool. 3 men in there for the Chiefs, but the ball's still on the side of the Brumbies, who scrambled well. Stop the chance of the turnover. Agreed, bruv, says Justin. And also, I don't like that law either. Nothing better than an intercept try, says Zakia. Well, looks like a bit of a limp here for Rona. They have got Lalakai Fakiti to make his way off the bench. Wouldn't it be great if Slipper scored a try today? It would be incredible for him. Definitely because he's been in decent try-scoring form too. Conway's just gone out, ladies and gentlemen, in the game between New Zealand and South Africa. New Zealand still need 41 more runs. Yeah, it looks like Rona's done by the looks of it here. Does not look like he's going to be able to continue in this matchup. A bit of concern there for the Chiefs, but Lalakai Fakiti, you assume, will now make his way on. I've only ever been to one away game. Blues versus Chiefs final 2024. Would be cool to travel for more away games. Says a Sporting Kiwi. Tupavai. Oh, he's dropped that one. Come out on the side of the Brumbies. Pritchard now has got Meredith with him. Breaks through two. And back that time it's Coyotes. They've both got the same headgear. One of them much longer here. Lonergan kicking downfield. Where's the game? It is in Canberra at GIO Stadium. Then I know Saturo stepping on the inside. Gets through Ryan Lonergan. Just jogging up to the 22. Nano Saturo. Offload there to Parker. The Chiefs looking to fire with back-to-back tries here. Ratama across there. Coombs Fabling again plays first receiver before getting it to McKenzie. Now Josh Lord. Another line break for him. Couldn't quite get it on the inside. Brilliant tackle again from Declan Meredith. Now short ball to McKenzie. Driven backwards in a 3-man tackle. Now searching for the position again here. Now go to the left-hand side. Big collision with Vai. Now short ball. Coombs Fabling gets it down. Gee, what? He's doing a lot of different roles today, Coombs Fabling. He's been playing as a fly half at times, or first five. He's been up there doing the hard runs like you'd see from forwards, but he's got himself 2 tries. Not a problem for Colby. Intercepts on the platter, says Shane. And 96 for 1. I just want D-Mac to have a great game. We're going to see it here. Josh Lord again. He's becoming a bit of a dynamic ball runner for this team. I know people love Fabian Holland, but Josh Lord is better, says a Sporting Kiwi. And the Chiefs should be prioritising Tomei Falau over Saturo because Saturo is leaving. Yeah, but they aren't, are they? It makes you wonder why they even bothered to sign Tomei Falau. Don't get me wrong, he's going to be a great player when he gets the chance to play, but it doesn't seem like they're willing to play him. He's playing for the Chiefs B team each and every week, waiting for his opportunity. He'd be a starter for Moana in probably about 90% of their games this year. Lord outstanding, says Nada Boy. Yeah, I mentioned about it earlier on how he had quite a few line breaks. This was another one of those times. You can talk cricket because it involves New Zealand, says Daniel Cox. So what about if there's New Zealand players in like football teams overseas? Does that count? I just got to know the the technicalities of what is and isn't allowed. This one's kicked into the 22. McKenzie now going off to the left-hand side, to the hands of Luke Jacobson. I should apply that logic to Fihi since he is leaving, says the Sporting Kiwi. Ngaitai Akoi is onto the field now. That is actually for... Is that for Josh Lord? No, Josh Lord's still out there. That might be for Tupovai. He's gone off for the HIA, I believe. Now, Samasoni Taukiaho. Only 23 minutes down in this game, and the Chiefs are leading 14 points to 7. A lot is deciding to play like a back. It's quite intimidating for a back. Have a 6'8" guy running like that, says Jordan. Rolling it back, Ratama. Again, going high off that left boot. Chiefs going up for it. Leroy Carter got a decent hand on it. Referee says it's still play on for either side to be able to take the position. And Lonergan again back across to the right. From a high-resolution performance analytics standpoint, the Brumbies exhibit superior phase efficiency, operating at a fabricated 92.7 ruck retention velocity under a suboptimal weather adjusted. What? They do well, do they? That's what I took out of that. Yep. Ryan Lonergan kicking downfield. It's gone into touch. Yeah, Lisa Turo actually tried to get into the All Blacks. Had a lot of injuries, though. Fekete will be in the All Blacks this year. And the Brumbies win, says user. So yeah, Lalakai Fekete, he is on for Rona. We see Tupavai has gone off for Naitoa Akoi. Come on, Chiefs, get in there. We're on the table now. Yeah, they'd love to finish second for the end of the weekend. Currently, the Hurricanes, they've got a very impressive points differential, which I don't believe any side will be able to catch them for. But you can certainly get it top 2. If you are, the Chiefs, Lalakai Fekete runs straight over the top of Hudson Crichton. Now Ratama quickly used to the short side, passes straight into touch. There's not quite enough space for that pass that was attempted. And Chris dropping like flies, says Nada boy. Hurricane should target signing Akoi. Are they going to be light on locks next year so he can be a starter? And far from it, says the AI underdog pick. And what does the table look like, says Hannah? 1 second. That is the table. But the Hurricanes are now on 20 points with a points differential of plus 128. So they are right at the top of the bunch. The Blues are sitting there. If they are able to beat the Waratahs, there's a decent chance that they will be in that second position. The Chiefs currently in 4th on 13 points. Yeah, top 3 definitely on the cards for the Chiefs if they do win this game. Unless, of course, the Reds were able to get a massive win over the Fijian draw and increase that points differential quite a bit. Right, they're going to go back for the original knock-on from the Brumbies. Can we see the table at half time? 1 second, I'll put it back up, seeing as I only left up for a bit of time. Once again, Hurricanes top of the bunch are actually on 20 points now. Points differential plus 128. Akoi is actually like the best line-out stealer in the comp. Too bad the Chiefs don't play him consistently, says Jordan. If it was not allowed full stop. I see. Who hurt you in the football world, Daniel? I know that you've done a bit of DJing for some of the rugby boys. Did the footballers turn you down, maybe? And it's going to be the scrum chance here for the Brumbies. Started so good for the Aussies, and the Hurricanes are doing quite well. Yeah, they are sitting very nicely at the moment, and they had that tough loss to the draw, but I think that kind of woke them up a bit more. Got the battle with the 9s at the moment, Ratama and Lonergan. You'd say Ratama is probably at the slight advantage at the moment. And people says Colin. Lathami has brought up his half century in the game between the Black Caps and the Proteas. 53 off 46. Tim Robinson is on 4 off 4. Norris should be starting for the Chiefs. He's by far their best prop. There's Jordan. I've decided to have him come off the bench to add a bit more late impact in this game. I'm also a Norris fan, by the way. Does that mean every game we're going to have to hear about how much you love him too? I'm just showing there the hard collision in the air between Corey Toole and Tenai Nana Saturo, in which Nana Saturo did stay down for that little bit longer and probably does need an HIA. It looks like he's going to try and continue here. Late impact, 25 minutes in, says Big Rig. And also we have got the Hurricanes got a bonus point tonight. CS Pro Pleb, they certainly did, yes. And All Blacks prop combos, De Groot and Lomax Williams, null. Norris and Loakai. And imagine him and Kiwi Rob on commentary. Don't give them ideas. That's all I'll say. Now Ratama, ready to put the ball in. And the penalty awarded to the Brumbies. It's scrum time here. It's going to be Darcy Breen getting the credit there. What did I say I wasn't happy with? Do you have short-term memory loss, Jordan? You just say all the things about the teams and then just forget you've said them like 2 minutes later. If there was a way block, I won, then I'm happy you know who. Now, Brumbies managing to win the scrum. It was against the feet as well. Just the early push there from the Chiefs. Now we have got there, do you know Slater and Walder? And imagine if Dave called Steve Larkham, trained the AB's backline attack. Be interesting, wouldn't it? I feel like, see, Dave Rennie's still got a few more choices. Yeah, easy. Let's just say that, says Daniel. That's going to be the penalty now, awarded to the Chiefs inside of their 22. Tupovai. And over the ball. Is Tupovai out there? I'm just looking through at the moment. So it's either Tupovai who went off for the HIA or Simon Parker. Oh, no. Oh, no. He's called Quinn Tupai. Tupovai there, Michael Hooper. I mean, slightly different sizes of the players. As managed him show ponies. And Tupai still says, "Nutter boy." It wasn't half bad. It was all bad. Says big rig. That one's going to be thrown in now by Simasuni Tolkiaho McKenzie. That's accidental offside, I believe. So it is going to be a free kick now for the Brumbies. 22 metres out from the Chiefs line. Can the Brumbies win? They absolutely can. There's still plenty of time left. 29 minutes into this game. We had some close ones in the past up against the Chiefs too. Rob Valentini, 10 metres short. Lonergan, cross to Charlie Cale. A lot of people had him in their Super Rugby fantasy teams. The amount of tries that he's been able to score, you can absolutely understand why. Kadrian Neville, again, taken down. 10 metres out from the line. Some yelling going on from the crowd. I feel like they want to see James Slipper go over here. Or as a record-breaking match, another advantage, this time in favour of this Brumbies side for offside against the Chiefs. Now backline, Muirhead has the man with him, pops it on the inside to Corey Toole. Nice stepping from him, gets it away to Pritchard. 3 metres short. Rory Scott goes off to Rob Valentini. Running in there was Nick Frost. He wanted to take it himself, but instead Billy Pollard will go for it there. And lost his sock. And there too, 2 metres short. Again, just out from the goal line. Now back across. Cale, skip pass out wide. Taken by Muirhead, shuffling there, almost getting through Ratama. But it's brilliant defence at the moment from the Chiefs. They are still under the penalty advantage, though, the Brumbies. So all of these phases will just be fatiguing the away side. Now right again. Pritchard goes to Valentini. 15 phases in a row. The Chiefs are not budging. And there's a knock on, so they'll go back for the penalty advantage to the Brumbies, but 16 phases in a row. I'm almost not liking this game again. Okay, it's going to be 5 metres from the goal line. Okay, seems like quick tap is still the option. Okay, 5 metres out, 20 metres from the sideline. That is the one that they're going to go with instead. I feel like this will be towards not quite warning territory for this Chiefs side, but if they give away a couple more penalties, in fact, they're not even going to go for the lineup. They're just going quick tap. It's going to be now Billy Pollard. About 3 meters out. They have to stay on side here, the Chiefs. They cannot afford another advantage against them. Chiefs again defending, although getting just that little bit closer was Charlie Cale. 2 meters out from the line for Breen. This has got to be within touching distance here for the Brumbies. Nick Frost going to play halfback. Sells the dummy, goes himself. Very close. Probably a millimetre out. That is even closer for his teammate. The call is short from Nick Berry. The ball taking a while to come out here for this Brumbies side. 8 phases in a row. James Slipper waiting on this left-hand side. Here comes the pass to him. Ducks his head, but the post was in the way. Now across to Pritchard. He is just about held up there. And that is brilliant defence from the Chiefs. They've survived 26 phases in the last 2 attacking moves from the Brumbies right on their own goal line. But just wouldn't budge. Brumbies need to score here after all this. Let me know about Warriors versus Knights tomorrow at 5. Who go to be? Well, the Warriors are in decent form at the moment. They've won their first 2 games. I haven't seen what the Knights have done so far this year, though. And brilliant defence is freshman. Damien McKenzie going to be going for the goal line dropout. Now Rob Valentini running this one forward. Now Pritchard, inside ball to Pavey. He's made his way back out after his HIA. Go the Warriors tomorrow. Says Reed. Meredith, 30 out. Lonergan, back to the left. Finds Breen again. A few carries for the tight head prop. Lonergan again moving away to the left. To Pritchard. New ahead first. Receiver can't quite shovel it on. The Chiefs are leaving very little gaps in their defensive line. They're being structured, and Quintapai over the ball again. Manages to win his second penalty in quick succession for not releasing. Get another try, Chiefs, before halftime. Says Jasmine. Over there, Vahi back on. Says Nara Boy. New Zealand currently are 10 runs away from a victory in the T20 as well. Tapai with another steal. Says Nara Boy. One booted into touch by the Chiefs. 1 try before the halftime break could get them to a level playing field heading into the second 40. Tapai with another steal. That earlier game, Timothy Tavatavanawai versus Geordie Barrett. We didn't really see a huge amount of turnovers for either of those men. Tapai showing that he's got that different option. If they do want to select him in that 12 jersey. Oh, that's a brutal big full toss there from Kutsia in the game up against New Zealand. Probably going to be a no ball, I would think. A nice take, Tupavai. Now, getting this one rolling. Forwards direction here again for the Chiefs. That gives need 10 from 32. Now kicked him behind from Ladakai Foketi. Going close to the sideline. Offloaded on the inside from Muir. That was risky from Coyotes. Tried to go for that quick kick down the wing, but ball's been knocked out of his hands. Both the Knights and the Warriors have 2 wins. I think it's going to be a good game. It's always been a close game with those two, says Dragon. It's normally close and low scoring, isn't it? When they go head to head. Had to hang washing up in the rain. But it will get wet, won't it? 4 runs there off the free hit for Robinson. Another amount of turnovers to Tavatavanawai versus Tapai isn't even close. Tavatavanawai had 30 last season, says Jordan. But once again, I was just referring to this round of Super Rugby, saying that in that matchup between Barrett and Tavatavanawai, I believe the direct quote was, we didn't see either of those two men get a huge amount of steals in that game. So Tapai showing what he can offer in that stealing ability too. Offload there from the Brumbies. Who's going to be tomorrow? Warriors versus Knights. Is that like who's going to be going to it, or you're saying who's going to be winning sock? Because if you're trying to place a bet on it, I would just not. Hanging your washing up in the rain is like taking a fish for a walk. If you had 100 balls to bowl to Fitton Allen, how many times would you get him out? How many fielders have I got in the deep? Because that would help. And how big's the boundary? 5 left says BTW Padza. Now another scrum feed here for the Chiefs. The handling of the Brumbies letting him down in the early stages. The Wars. Tupai has to show it for more than one game, though. How many did he get last season? It's a fair amount, wasn't it? For Quinn Tupai, I don't have the exact numbers. I feel like we listed it during our All Black selection video, though. Now Cortez Ratama going up to the left-hand side. Also wasn't quite the point that I was making, though. It was more a reference to just this round. We have got the as of today, says the GIO underdog pick. I'd be getting him for a golden duck. That's a lot of confidence. Although the Warriors have started dropping 40 in both games. So I think it's going to be a Wars blowout again. Now going off to the right-hand side. Oh, loose ball. Another penalty advantage. This time in favour of the Chiefs, though. 3 minutes remaining. Tolkiaho. Going to Jacobson. He has to be rage baiting. That's what I'm thinking, freshman. Surely, like, you can't be that annoying, right? Like, in general. Quite a lead, Dragons. Says the AI underdog. Oh, boy, that was close. Says Akaya, very close to the line for a Tino Nana Satoro, but defended by the Brumbies. Looking to get the steal. Ratama hesitant there. Goes on the outside. Hudson Crichton takes it. And that is going to be a brilliant try-saving tackle. No, I literally also made my point as well, which he has to do it for more than one round, says Jordan. Who's playing tomorrow night? There are 3 matches tomorrow night that are taking place. First of which is Fiji and Draw versus Reds. Second game is Crusaders versus Moana. And then the third one is Waratahs versus Blues. Jordan isn't rage baiting, he's just an unhappy person. Maybe. Now line out here for the Chiefs. 90 seconds remaining in this first half. It would be quite good to see a try just before the halftime break with the conversion just to be 14-14. Do backs wear headgear because they think it looks cool? I think it's just to try and protect their brains a little bit and protect the ears. But yeah, it's a tricky one because you'd assume that the Brumbies, with the two who are wearing it in the back line, Coyotes and Declan Meredith, they'd at least maybe mix up the colours so that you could tell them apart. Good morning, Hamish. Or is it good afternoon for you? It is currently 10:20 p.m, so it is the evening for myself, Albert, but I hope you are doing well. Now charging forward. Now Ratama flicks it up now to Quinn Tupai, another advantage. Oh, that was a bit high. I can make a rainbow, says Big Rig. Now left-hand side, Ratama to McKenzie. Thought about the short pass. That was an interesting one. Just threw it straight into the hands of the Brumbies. Okay, the tackler was in the way. So the supporting player had to jump over. We've got there. Up the Chiefs, says Reed. Right, this is an easy 3-pointer here. You got 4 fielders in the deep, and it's at McLean Park and Napier. Okay, so I got about maybe 70-metre boundaries if I'm lucky. Do I have to bowl a specific type of delivery, or can I mix it up? Like, if I have 100 balls, can I bowl, like, let's say, 5 overs, medium pace, and then switch to spin, or do I have to be consistently one type of bowling? I think I could get him out once. And it would be because he mishits a 6. Maybe. But then my fielder would probably drop it. I hope Super Rugby don't run out of diesel, says Albert. That is going to be half-time now in this contest. McKenzie straight through the middle for the 3. It's going to make the score 17 points to 7 at this stage. Is Damien looking a bit rusty tonight? It's been all right. I think it's been more the Chiefs, the way they've attacked. They've actually had Liam Coombs-Fabling as the 10 a few times, and then McKenzie's come in as second receiver. So I don't think he's played so much as that generalised 10 role here. I give this game a 6 out of 10. Chiefs won the game by not conceding, says Big Rig. And also we have got the D-Mac playing the full 80. Don't know, because Jacob's in there too, isn't he? Yeah, maybe McKenzie would have wanted one more big line break or something like that, but he's had a couple decent moments first half too. I will mention New Zealand need one more run to win their game up against South Africa to make the series 2-1. Well, that might be a wicket there. In fact, it very much so could be of Robinson going with one run required to win. He's going to review it though. Halftime in this game, 17 points to 7. And so they have pretty much won. Yeah, pretty much. They're one run away, yeah, for sure. Over there, they need one run off 25. Black Caps won yet? Not quite. They are reviewing a LBW here, as Tim Robinson would have liked to get that last run on the board, but it seems like instead he may have gone out. Right. Well, he hasn't hit it, Tim Robinson. So he'll be hoping that this one's going over the stumps. No, it's hitting the wickets. During halftime, can you show me where on the globe Fiji is? I have no idea where it is on the map. Says Pro Pleb. I mean, I could. Or you could also have a bit of a Google, seeing as we are at halftime. Here you go, world map. We'll help you out with some geography. I need a big map. Where is it? Here we go. It's zoomed in on it. Map of the world. Here we go. Okay, it's very laggy, but we'll get there in the end. Oh, that's a bit insulting. It doesn't even let you go across to New Zealand. I've got to drag it at the moment. Right. So, let's get a focus going. Is it going to do it? New Zealand's here. Fiji's here. That makes sense. Australia is under my finger. Under there. Makes sense? So it's north of New Zealand and out to the left a little bit. Phone's on 1%. I don't want to load another app. Says Pro Pleb. I've never heard of this Brumbies centre pairing. Says Albert. So Hudson Crichton's been used more of a player off the bench. Caden Pritchard is definitely one to keep an eye out for. He's had a great season so far. Spin bowling. Okay, well, I can bowl a bit of leg spin, bit of off spin. So I'd still probably say I can get him out maybe once if he mishits it. But I don't think I'm forcing him to get out. Like, it's not going to be a case of, I'd like to think that he wouldn't get out to a guy playing second grade and who doesn't actually get to bowl for his side. Although, every time I've bowled, I have taken a wicket, which doesn't give me any more confidence against a professional cricketer. Fiji is 3,000 kilometres east of Brisbane. Says Albert. Fiji in Pacific Islands. And also Caden Pritchard will be the Wallabies 13, says the Sporting Kiwi. Who's got the Chiefs tries. Both have been scored by Liam Coombs-Fabling. At the moment, spin it. Says yeah, underdog. And did you see that phenomenon of New Zealand being missing on world maps? Yeah, it happens every once in a while. That one, for instance, I actually had to keep my finger on so that I could drag it far enough to get to New Zealand. The Highlanders should play all the late autumn and winter home games in Alexandria and Queenstown. Would that be cheating? Probably not, but they also probably wouldn't do it. They might do the occasional game over there. New Zealand win by 8 wickets. Yeah, so 2-1 in the series now for the Black Caps. Doing not too badly at the moment. The Black Caps side. But still job to do. Next match is taking place on Sunday. I'm a Kiwi, but in Paris. Says Alaria. They're showing some of the big collisions from that first half, and there have been plenty of them. Big solid shots coming in from everybody. But currently, the way that it sits, the Chiefs are leading in this game. Currently 17 points to 7. I'm just going to very quickly look back and see that last victory for the Brumbies up against the Chiefs, what the score was at halftime. It was back in 2022, and it was at FMG Stadium. Halftime, Brumbies were leading by 4. in that game. Went on to score 20 points throughout the second half. The Chiefs scored 14. That gets too good. Says our underdog pick. And well done, New Zealand. Says Hannah there too. So yeah, hopefully, it's weird to say, and it's quite bad to say, but hopefully the last game is going to be the decider. So that would have to mean that New Zealand really do butcher it in the second match, as they seem to be finding their rhythm now. Crusaders should play a game in Ashburton. I lived there for a month on an apple walk orchard, says the Sporting Kiwi. Thank you for keeping me posted on the cricket. I really appreciate it. Says Hannah, no worries at all. But yeah, it was easier me keeping the cricket updates going, purely because of the fact that there was no way we were going to get through the live stream without someone mentioning the cricket. So at least with everyone knowing that I was going to be given the updates, it meant that if they wanted to avoid spoilers, it meant don't watch the Super Rugby stream, because they were going to find out from the chat anyway. So I thought I'd be the first one to break the news. We have got there as well. Surely you got your chicken tenders this week? Not yet, but I have a feeling that if we end up winning the semi-final in cricket tomorrow, we are playing on a field right next to KFC. And if we win, I am going to treat myself to said chicken tenders, but not going to have a huge amount of them, because we then have to play again on Sunday. And if we win that game, then maybe we double down on the tenders as a celebration. Who do the Crusaders play? Says the Sporting Kiwi. This round, they are going head-to-head up against Moana Pacifica. And that is at 7:05 tomorrow. Now, I will just mention, while we have got a little bit of downtime while the second half is about to get underway, tomorrow there's a little bit of a confusing situation happening. So sadly, we won't be doing Fiji and Draw versus Reds. The afternoon game taking place at 4:35. Reason behind it is I have been called in to play in the semi-final for the cricket. Plus, I have tried a couple people to be able to fill in for me. The answer was no on both accords, so it means that we can't find someone to do that stream, sadly. 7:05 game between Crusaders and Moana at the moment is 50-50, depending on how early we finish. If we finish early enough, I will be able to do that match. If we finish late, that match isn't looking likely. I'll try and schedule it as early as possible so that you guys know if it's there or not. But just know if I am doing that game, it would be starting at 7 p.m. And then alongside that, the next one after... Oh, there's a bit of a limp going on in the sheds there by the looks of it. Hi, Hamish, must I help you out? I mean, if you want to jump on and do Fiji and Draw versus Fiji and Draw versus Reds, Yarn Lou, if you can. We tried a few options and everyone said nah. Although, to be fair, we tried a lot of Northern Hemisphere options. But as we know from your schedule, you're awake at random hours. It would be about a 5:30 a.m. kickoff for you in South Africa. Are you doing all the URC South African teams this weekend? No, I actually am missing the Bulls Cardiff game because of coaching junior cricket. So that game taking place in about 8 hours' time. I won't actually be able to cover either. Deciding if I want to go to a free rugby Waikato Rugby Division 1 Super Round, says Yasmin. But yeah, the guaranteed game that I am definitely doing is going to be the match between the Waratahs and the Blues, and then the games of the URC afterwards. But that Moana Crusaders game's 50-50, and maybe we've just found a replacement for the Fiji and Draw Reds, but we'll have to wait and see. So we've also got 34 for the Chiefs. I was going to chuck a bet on for the Canes to win by 14 plus and the Chiefs to win. Says K Slade. Well, you would have been right in one accord. Still a bit of time remaining. Seen 17 missed tackles from the Brumbies here. I've just said there that they haven't been able to get off their own gain line here, the Brumbies. And also, they've had a lot of handling errors throughout this matchup too. I can do Fiji and Draw Reds for you, says Yarnlu. I think I've got your email, don't I? Maybe. Just inbox me. What I might do, Yarnlu, if I have got your email, which I feel like I have, surely. Maybe I don't, but I can send you, I guess, a link on either Instagram or Discord. No, I have got your email. Never mind. What I'll do is after this game is finished and we end the stream, I'll send you an invite to this stream and then we can have a chat about it afterwards if you want. Moana going to beat the Crusaders, says the Sporting Kiwi. And New Zealand won the cricket by 8 wickets. They did very well. Good bit of work at the top of the order from Latham. would be 7, 14 South African on Saturday morning. It's early on the morning in the Sunday. All good. There's a Jan Lu there too. Yeah, second half of this contest, probably only sitting about 5 or so minutes away from starting up. Be honest, who do you think our 10 players will be? You're still on about that Kiwi Rob from the last one. I think it's too early to tell. There you go. That's a fun sit on the fence kind of answer, isn't it? But, you know, at the end of the day, there are chances of injuries. There are chances of players losing form as the competition wears on. I'm not watching the Highlanders anymore. In fact, no rugby till Otago plays in the NPC, says Noctural. Okay, so that's a little way in the future, but Otago doing very nicely in that last NPC comp, of course. Good luck with your cricket semi-final tomorrow. Hope that it goes well. I hope so too. I feel like there's a little bit of pressure on. We're versing the side who are top of the table that beat us earlier on in the year. My current batting average for the one day is like 5, and I'm supposed to be a top order batsman. But I wouldn't guarantee that based off current form. Chance of red card, says Big Rig. Relatively high. I feel like someone's going to do a swinging arm at some point throughout this matchup. Sorry, it should be about 5 a.m. Time in South Africa. And all good. I will wait for the link after stream. Says Yanlu. That does sound good as well. And considering their start, South Africa didn't do too badly in the end. Says Zakaya. Yeah, honestly, they did all right, their Protea side. Like, yes, New Zealand chased it down pretty well. But the fact that they got up to the stage of not getting bowled out and getting, what was it, 130 or something like that, that's handy enough. It's the highest total that they've had so far. Just got home from Porto Bar Stadium, Islanders, you can F off. Embarrassing is an understatement, says Jason. And Protea's cricket with a young side against New Zealand, says Jan Lu. Yeah, for their young side, getting the win in the first one would have been just an absolutely incredible moment for them. And 10s in the squad will be Bowden Barrett, Damien McKenzie, and Moonga. Says Zakaya there. Do, of course, let me know who you think win this game from here. The Brumbies sitting down by 10 at the moment. They have not won the last 4 matches up against the Chiefs. They've got the game next week up against the Waratahs, whereas the Chiefs are going to be playing up against Western Force. That is a Saturday night game taking place, which we will be covering on the channel. And they're the all-new Nissan Navara. There's always an ad for a car of some sort, and then McDonald's is always the one that follows closely after. We have got there, can you read my last message? My apologies. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Do you know if the winners of the Rugby World Cup get bonus pay? Or is it just the trophy? I feel like they get some sort of player bonus, right? I know that one of the teams in the T20 World Cup, their players had to pay money because they didn't do well. I think it was Pakistan, like or they may have all lost like a certain amount because of not performing. But I assume in the World Cup you get some sort of bonus, surely. I think South Africa just caught New Zealand cold in the first T20. Says bad to the bone, rather get bowled out. Says the AI underdog pick. I think the Chiefs will win, says Hannah. They were 75 for 6 in the 12th over, so getting to 136 was good. They were also about 40 for 4, weren't they? In that one. Rather get bowled out. Says the AI underdog pick, and the Canadian woman had to crowdfund to the cost to compete the World Cup. Or for the Women's World Cup. Yeah, that was a shame, wasn't it? The fact that they had to do all the hard work for themselves to be able to get there. And you look at them making it through to the final. Like, surely that's done something for them. In terms of support, a sponsor of some sort. How has D-Mac been so far? He's been all right. Hasn't done anything absolutely crazy yet, but he's got all his kicks over. The game second is bonkers, says Big Rig. And our most capped players of all time, James Slipper, right at the top of the bunch. No one else who is currently playing in Super Rugby is within the top 6. Other than that man, James Slipper, who can just keep on going, try and keep on working towards that 210, then 215. Then if he's got another season in him, maybe 220. Second half just about to start up here. But Damien McKenzie, he lead his side. The strong Chiefs backline that they've got. Jacobson, can he captain the side to a big win in Canberra? 40 minutes will tell us everything we need to know, but it's kicked off now by the Chiefs. We are back underway. Nick Berry getting us away here. Straight away, a little bit of pressure in the breakdown from Tupavai. I think we'll go like that. There we go. And get a try, Chiefs, please. Says Jasmine. All ugly collision there in the air. The ball has gone into touch, and it will be the Brumbies ball. Roy Carter landing hard on his back. Gets a bit of an apology there from Coyote. So I don't know if that was so much an apology or if it was more so are you all right? I feel like there might have been a slightly sorry I grabbed your arm and pulled you down situation. Now Billy Pollard on out throw, taken at the front by Kale. Aldi dinner or pizza is the dinner. Life of a single man. Till the wife and kids come home and kill the piece. Says Sock. I had a pizza the other day, and it was one of the worst things or worst pizzas I have ever had. I'm not going to say where I got it from, but it was really, really not good. It wasn't like Pizza Hut or Domino's or any of the main ones either. There's another one not playing today. Says given he is not. And the fact that he is not playing and that still doesn't bring Tumi Falau into the team just shows the amount of options that they have got out on those wing options for the Chiefs. He says, delicious. I'm currently listening to you and watching snooker. A bit of multitasking in that case. Handling errors at the moment for the Brumbies. They sit with 5. Chiefs sit with 3. Now Cortez Ratama. Smash them ponies. Out Angus Gardner keep his composure after getting knocked off his feet. Says Scott. Yeah, it seemed like it was a stinger on the shoulder, wasn't it? I'm listening to you and playing Spyro 3, Year of the Dragon. Says Big Rick. Oh, free kick awarded. There to the Chiefs. Quick tap taken by Cortez Ratama. Now going to go for a 50-22. Bounces steeply but goes just outside of the Brumbies 22. What about our Black Sox? 7 times world champions. They get no funding or resources yet. They still beat the USA. Yeah, see, it's pretty rough, isn't it? I know that another example that I can think of was South Africa's rugby league team. They were considered as kind of like the outcasts of rugby, had to do all of the work themselves fundraising-wise to get even an opportunity of making the World Cup. But you think, how good could they be if they actually had a bit of support from South African rugby? As you're showing there, the drop ball from Rob Valentini on the ground. Which does bring another scrum now for this Chiefs team. Stephen Larkham not looking happy at the moment. In fact, the slightly weird thing is he almost looks more happy now than he did at the start of the game for James Slipper's milestone. Oh, hey there, KFC, says Turkeyov. Softball wasn't really taken seriously, though. When it comes to men's international, it's meant to be a women's game, says the Sporting Kiwi. And did the commentators actually say the problem with the ref at Forsyth Bar? They did mention that there were quite a few penalties going against the Highlanders, but Hugh Renton, he fronted up and said, look, we were trying to get that momentum back, and at times we maybe went, a little bit too far with it. Now Liam Coons fabling away to the right. Can't quite link up with the man on his outside. On the ball there, I think it was Andy Muirhead who's got in there and won the penalty for the Brumbies. I know nothing about rugby league, says Hannah. Well, there is a Rugby League World Cup later on this year that we are covering on the channel. So that'll be a good opportunity to pick up some rugby league knowledge. I'll be honest, I don't have the best rugby league knowledge either, but that is something that I'm hoping to learn. After that Pacific Championship last year, that was absolutely incredible. Point of view, every stream moment says, and right, we are live, says Turkeyov. Well, it's just because normally my stream software, it comes up with the live little symbol, but it doesn't actually sometimes go live straight away. So rather than saying hello everyone or something like that and having it get cut out, the good news is you always know after the we're live, then we're going to do the intro and hopefully not have it cut out. Oh, good take from Corey Toole. Both men went up for it. But Toole comes down with possession. Slipper passes across now. Rory Scott. She's defence though. It's going to be frustrating for the Brumbies, although a bit of space on the outside. Charlie Cale cutting back inwards, but again, Carter with a great one-on-one tackle. I think Scoos Fabling is a bit greedy with the ball. Well, he wants his hat trick. He feels like this is his big opportunity, definitely with Narawa on the sidelines for this matchup. Feels like this is his time to be able to strike. But at the same time, that can sometimes, oh, that would have hurt. I think Toole may have got kicked in the shin or something there. Now off to the left. Hamish says Roof. And time to push it, says Roof there too. This one's kicked deep, kicked long, kicked dead. We'll go back for the scrum. Did you ever try Nando's? No. I've had Nando's chips when I was like really young at an airport, but I've never tried any chicken from Nando's. Do we have Nando's in the South Island? Like in Christchurch? Nando's, Christchurch. It's a thing. In fact, there's a few Nando's. So, one day I will try the Nando's. And we'll see how it is. The ref went down and was being attended by the medics for ages. Carried on after 5 minutes. Just don't know what the problem actually was. He got hit with a stinger from Hugh Renton. Pretty much ran into the back of him and got him on the back of the shoulder. I thought it was leg injury for a start. Brumbies are so sloppy right now. Tell the US is bad to the bone. Japan has the US, that the US have over 8 million softball players. You still can't beat New Zealand. Is bad to the bone. Right, that one's going to be a solid scrum. McKenzie to Quinn to Pye. A nice offload there to Lalakai Feketi. Referee rules it as backwards, but straight on the ball again for the Brumbies. This time it's Rory Scott who's managed to win the penalty. It's a battle of the team who are tackling well up against the side who are doing very nicely in the breakdown. I had Nando's about 10 years ago and still remember how good it was. Okay, so I probably should try some Nando's at some point then. I'm going to be in Christchurch next week. Maybe. It depends on where it is, though. Whether or not it's off the beaten track or whether it's nice and central with where we are. Line out throw now for Billy Pollard. Goes to the front. No jump from either side in that situation. Now Hudson Crichton goes across to Corey Toole. Lalakai Feketi making a great tackle on him, but Toole springs straight back up to his feet. Still running forward. The Aussie 7-star. Now inside ball to Pritchard. There's no in between, says Neil. Nando's can be life-changing or bloody average. Okay, so I'm either going to walk away from the experience going, why did they want me to try that? Or now I'm going to have it a lot. Very flat ball from Lonergan to Valentini. 48 minutes through at the moment in this contest. Pick and go again by the Brumbies. Nando's is worth it, says Pro Pleb. See, that's like in Australia. I know that it's completely different. Loose ball, nicely cleaned up by Coyotes. What's the Guzman one? Something in Guzman? We had that when we were over there ages ago, and their breakfast burrito was ideal. That one's going to be kicked downfield. Chase coming from Liam Coons Fabling. This one will just about go into the in-goal area, but Ryan Lonergan has to kick downfield. Clears the lines again. My experience was average, to be fair, says Big Rick. See, it probably also comes down to where you go. As well, there's probably better chains than others, similar to KFC and McDonald's and all those ones. Tolkiaho. I'm just trying to read the number on his back. I'm also catch a glimpse of him to see if he was still out there. Nando's is not worth it, says Hannah. And sadly better in Australia generally. But then again, any shop is dependent on their Chiefs. Says Pro Pleb now. Cortez Ratama. It's a knock on. And in fact, free kick. Accidental offside. Nando's across from Aotea Square. Or Aotea Square in Auckland. It's really good. It's still there, Kiwi Rob. If you want a good pizza, try Orchid Thieves. I think Orchid Thieves for us is a type of alcohol here. I don't know whether or not we've got... One second. no, pizza stores. What one's the beverage? There's one in the North Island. Actually, there's a lot in the North Island. Taronga, Waikato, Taronga. I don't think they're South Island yet. Now pass on the outside, Jacobson. To the halfway line. Quinton Pipe passes to Josh Lord. Offload attempted there. They're rushing it a little bit here, the Chiefs. Now that one's kicked in behind by Ratama. That's going to have too much on it as well. Though it's curving towards the sideline. It will be inside of the in-goal area. Forced down by Andy Muirhead. More like Nandon'ts. Oh, he got him. You not like it, Colossus? That's called Orchard Thieves. Says Daniel. What's going on in the UK, says the AI. Well, if you ever come to the the UK, I'll buy you a beer in Nando's. Says Big Rig there. If the trip's worth the Nando's alone, I am keen. There's just something great about good chicken. Simon Parker, that's a big collision. Knock on, though. And the Brumbies back with ball in hand. Charlie Cale out to Corey Toole. His pure pace will be something that could set this game open. Kick downfield. Hudson Crichton. I think that's too much on it as well. Or is it just going to pull up? Yes, it does. Ball ends up curling. Back into the field of play. McKenzie with the little stutter. Going now to a Tenai Nana Saturo. One into touch as well. Now take Simon Parker off. He's doing nothing. Crazy we haven't seen a try since half-time. Yeah, currently 12 minutes into the second half and we have gone nowhere between these two sides in terms of the scoreboard. Although the rain has finally stopped, the sun is out. Says Big Rig. And immense amounts of stupidity and bad rugby, says Big Rig. Danino's like buying a sweet soy sauce chicken for $2 at the Atara shopping centre. Soy sauce chicken, that sounds all right. For $2, I don't know how good it would be, but James Slipper getting a standing ovation from a lot of members in the crowd. He is the most capped of all time now in Super Rugby. Shot makes his way on, but Slipper's put in 52 hard minutes here. I wish these coaches would realise you don't have to play these players just because they played for the All Blacks. Well, that was what happened with Waikato in the NPC, wasn't it? They had all these All Blacks that came back into the side because of the fact that they were All Blacks, rather than playing the guys who had been in form and helped Waikato get to where they were throughout the regular season. A little bit of a counteract there from Simasoni Taukiaho, another advantage awarded to the Brumbies. Now what's really good, Cosmo Buffet. There's a ridiculous variety of food. Do they have that here in New Zealand? I do love a buffet. I spelled Cosmo wrong. I had the M and the S around the wrong way. Cosmo Casino? Is that the one you're talking about? Or is it like a different... Cosmo... I should have put buffet, actually. I didn't put buffet. Cosmo World Kitchen. It's in the UK as well. South Auckland Shopping Centre always got cheap, good foods. Says Sock. Now line out here for the Brumbies. They will be 5 metres out from the Chiefs line. Summer Penny feed now. Just made his way onto the field. It wasn't for Simon Parker, though. And he hasn't had his best performance in this game. Rolling ball attempted. It isn't really creeping forward at the moment for this Brumbies side. More so going a bit in a sideways direction, but Billy Pollard waiting. He's told to use it. Lonergan goes to Hudson Crichton. He has scored the only try in this game for the Brumbies. Short ball to McPherson. Chiefs wanting the steal, and Quintupai gets his third of the contest. Our kids lacing their plates with mountains of world food. I've never been to Otara. Would love to visit one day. If the food is cooked, then yes, is our underdog. And we have got Anthony in there as well. Hope you are doing well. And we have got their Storm 14 Zip. Also a quick fire start for the Storm. In fact, no. They're probably halfway through that game, aren't they? Do you have any plans on expanding the future of your YouTube channel? like in what way? As in like having more people on it, pro pleb? I'll be honest, the original goal for the channel was to get to 1,000. And now that we've done that, I really don't know what I'm doing. We got there like a bit quicker than I thought we would. But we just take it weekend by weekend, really. I don't think I've got any long-term plans or anything. I'd love to visit New Zealand one day, says Hannah. It is very nice here. And certain, like, of course, it's like everywhere. You got your good places, your bad places. But if you like your scenery, New Zealand's certainly a great option. That one's going to be kicked downfield by Josh Jacob. He has made his way onto the field for the Chiefs. Now, Coyotes returns fire. This game's become a little bit more kicking orientated in recent times. McKenzie goes to Jacob. And be that little bit of an attacking threat that they need. Would you ever consider trying to interview some rugby players? Maybe. The trickiest part is when to interview them, because we've dealt with it before in terms of players being unavailable for interviews because of like Super Rugby contracts or overseas contracts they're actually told that they're not allowed to do outside of their actual media obligations. If you're like connected to the players, nice ball on the inside by Tupaia, Jacob then to McKenzie, and it is another try. The Chiefs now on the board. But yeah, if you've got that connection with the players in terms of like either as an ex-player yourself or some sort of connection to the game, it is a lot easier to try and organise and work that out. But we're from a small town. We don't have any rugby connections in terms of the local game. So, yeah, it doesn't really work as well. Like, you could message 100 players, you'll get one reply, and they say, nah, can't do it because of obligations. And now I live in Australia. The only $2 chicken here is the Nuggets. That's a great backline movement there from the Chiefs. Josh Lord was involved in it again. Bloody Lord in there again, says Nutter Boy. Yeah, he seems to be involved in every wide attack at the moment. I'm trying to interview referees for my PhD. Stuff because of how busy they are, says Zakaya. It's a great finish, though, from the Chiefs. We now sit 24 points to 7 up. This is a statement at the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, interview Leroy. We'll possibly set it up, says Daniel. This is quite embarrassing from the Brumbies because the Chiefs have not been great and they are cruising. Yeah, like this was considered as the game that should have been a bit 50-50. Yeah, the Chiefs did come in as favourites, $1.50 to $2.50 or something like that. So slight favourites for the Chiefs. But this at the moment is not the scoreline people were anticipating. So either the Brumbies need to find that late rhythm like they did at times up against the Fijian Drua, or they might just about be done and dusted here. They've made a couple more changes. One's going to be kicked high. Great take from Quinn Tupaia, who at the moment I would say is man of the match in this contest. I went away for a bit who has scored so far in this match. So Liam Coombs-Fabling has got himself 2. We're seeing just the most recent try coming the way of, it was Damian McKenzie. And then for the Brumbies, they were able to score earlier on with Hudson Crichton. That's interesting. I think it would be an awesome expansion for your YouTube channel. Or it would be an awesome expansion for your YouTube channel if you could get a couple rugby interviews. Says Pro Pleb. And where are you from? Says the underdog to freshman. The Bowen, he has made his way onto the field now, placing Billy Pollard. But yeah, it depends on whether it's the off-season or during their regular season. Like during rugby championship, everything like that, there was no option. I was actually told that by a player who has played for one of these two teams. Fun fact. We're now going off to the left-hand side. Nice quick hands there. Meredith close to the sideline. Oh, wait a minute. Did they force him into touch or did they somehow keep this ball alive for Ryan Lonergan to be able to score? See you after the stream. We will see you in about 25 minutes or so, yeah. Nice try, says Sakai. They are going to be checking this one to make sure that it is going to be a legal try. Right. What is the verdict here? This guy says the NH. Right, they are just saying they found an angle that shows that his back foot was on the touchline. Right, waiting there. Oh. Okay, the back angle must show it because that front angle looked all right. Tell you what, he's done pretty well to get that one away. Ryan Lonergan is setting up on the tee. The TMO used very specific wording here. He said, I'm going to show you the angle that shows that his back foot is on the touchline. Oh, okay. TMO has corrected himself. He said that it was the other teammate whose foot was in touch, and he's going to have to look at this again now. It took a while to type New Zealand. I think he was thinking about it. Says Jordan. Okay, number 10 has the ball. That's fine. I think it's in the field of play, and I think this is going to be a try now for Lonergan. Try stand, says Zakaya. Is the TMO okay? And also try for me, and Anthony is here still too. That is going to be the try for the Brumbies. And brilliant ability there to be able to get that ball back on the inside. He distracted like his girlfriend just broke up with him. Says Big Rig. Boo, but the Chiefs still leading, so yay. Says Jasmine. We just see it there. It was actually released just in time from Declan Meredith. Brumbies stopped doing yoga. Is the time off when they go to the TMO? It certainly is, yes. So still 59 minutes remaining in this contest, even though the scoreboard's a little bit ahead for time. So all those who were saying the Brumbies are done for, what say you now? Says Zakaya. Only a couple minutes ago, I said that if they didn't get going soon, they were going to be gone. But they've now got going, which means this one could be a lot closer if they can strike back again. Too many wearing white boots, says Zakaya. Yeah, I think that is what confused the TMO initially. Zach, the Brumbies are done for, says Highlanders fan. Lonergan back into the pocket to Declan Meredith. He gets it into touch again. Chiefs would need 2 more tries to get themselves a bonus point. I want Tommy Falau to get game time. I like his high ball skills. Says Jordan. We've seen the injury of Daniel Rona, so there might be a bench spot for Tommy Falau in the next game up against the Force. Mum boys are still out of their league. With the Chiefs, says Pro Pleb. And exactly 20 minutes ago, anything can happen, says Zakaya. And line out throw here for Taukiaho. This last 20 minutes is going to absolutely fly by as well. Is Ollie Norris on yet? Yes. He's in that rolling maul at the moment. It's only Taukiaho at the back game, says the AI underdog pick. Taukiaho still waiting patiently. This Chiefs rolling maul is probably made about 15 metres at this point in time. Told to get out of there. Now Cortez Ratma goes across to Quinn Tupaia. Now right-hand side again here. Oh, penalties for the Brumbies in the breakdown. And Brumbies Highlanders Proteas. See, bad to the bone. I can't believe in the Six Nations all the team need to do. Score 3 tries to get a bonus point. It's actually 4, but it's the same in the URC. It's the same in the Premiership. It's the same in a lot of competitions around the world. But not Super Rugby, not the Rugby Championship. Out of all my bets tonight, I'm most confident with the Chiefs winning by 13 plus. How's his scrum been going? He hasn't really had a huge amount of chance to scrum at this point in time. If the Highlanders had good lineouts today, the score could have been way different. And Amoni will take that spot on the bench. Says Daniel. That is true, although I'd like to think that maybe, depending on how long they're leaving Nadawa out for, they might be doing a bit of rotation. In terms of maybe next week, Leroy Carter misses out up against the Force. I don't think the Force is a game that the Chiefs will be too heavily threatened by. But you just never know. Currently with 18 minutes remaining, 24 points to 12. At the moment, break of the line, Andy Muirhead back to Coyotes on the inside. The Chiefs starting to get a little bit more loose in defence now. Meters being made by the Brumbies a bit more easier than it was before. Full-time guess is 31-19, says Dragon. I give this game a 7 out of 10. Big run there from the Brumbies tight head. Currently only 5 metres out. Declan Meredith, big chopping tackle on him by Summer Penny-Fee now to be able to take him down. Now Pritchard goes to Muirhead. Tackled quickly by Leroy Carter. Another one, Tommy Falau should be prioritised over Tsituro. If the Highlanders had good lineouts today, the score could have been way different. Ball still there at the back for Shop. Now Luke Raymer. Oh, that was close to a turnover in the breakdown for the Chiefs. And it does just come out the back door for the Brumbies. Valentini, pick and go from him. Ball's popped out the side. Looks like the Chiefs were almost able to jump on that one. But again, it's on Brumbies' side. It might be a 6 soon. Says Jasmine. Yeah, my bad, a bonus point for tries or more. But not for more than the opposition, says Zakiah. A couple metres out. Pick and go. That is close. That is over the line. And they have scored again, the Brumbies. They are doing exactly what they did up against the Fijian Roar in that second half. And that is mounting a little bit of a comeback. But now the question is, can the Chiefs take control back of this game? I think there's at least 2 tries remaining in this game, says Pro Pleb. Oh, sorry, spoiler alert. Says Zakiah there. It might be a 6 soon, says Jasmine. Okay, that's a 6. I'm half grumpy and too little too late. Is it though? With more than 15 minutes remaining, they're going to be within 7 in this contest. It was Charlie Cale. Now, all I'm going to say is when that man scores a try, he normally scores another one not too long after. So that'll be someone that the Chiefs definitely need to try and shut down. He's had 8 for the season already. We're only in round 6. Chiefs going to score again too. Says Sock. Brumbies lost the game in the first half when they couldn't close the deal. Says Big Rig. I do much too little too late. That one's gone over. And that is now making the score 19 points to 24. Over 15 minutes remaining in this game. And 24-19, 1 try to take the lead. Says Zakiah there, and all the momentum with the Brumbies now in this contest. Stephen Larkham, still no smiles on his face after his side has started to create a bit of a chance for themselves here. How many rounds are there? Super Rugby, you've got about, I think it's 13 or 14 rounds. Because you have 3 rivalry matches and then you play everyone else once. Closer than I thought. So here's Anthony there. And here the game is a handful of balls away. So here's Sock. That one's going to be kicked out on the full by the Chiefs, so they will lose meterage once again. I picked Charlie Cale for fantasy in round 1, right from the start because I knew he was good. So here's Jordan and pays to keep humble. Yes, here's Zakiah. And now a little bit of scrambling will have to take place for the Chiefs here too. Line out throw for Bowen. He's side shuffling at the moment. I think the referee needs to work out where it is. Nice hands from Nick Berry. I'm sure he knocked on. When he picked it up before he scored the try, what do you think, Hamish? I didn't see it on the replay, but I also wasn't looking that closely. So if he did, I also missed it. We have got there, why do you think the Highlanders were so bad today? They just kept on getting penalised, didn't they? Alongside that, they just didn't seem to have a plan on attack. Now pass across to Quintapai in the middle of the field. He will kick it downfield after the line-out steal from the Chiefs. Muirhead running this one back into Leroy Carter. Tried to rip it out of his hands. Tyrone Thompson going for the steal. Pick up there from Jacobson, but another penalty. We have got Anthony in there too. And just like I know everyone else, I say is good is good. I can spot good guys. Says Jordan. This might be a hot take, but I think Damian McKenzie has passed his prime. I feel like he was better last year. That might not be a popular opinion. I think it's also down to the fact this is only his 2nd game for the Chiefs of the year. So he may be a bit of a slow burner for a start, McKenzie. And we're going to wait that bit longer to see what he's like. But yeah, he hasn't quite fired in the same way that he did last time round. Brumbies will win, says Arian. Oh, that one's going to be almost overthrown there too. Ball in the hand of the Chiefs. 13 minutes remaining. And McKenzie still offers more than Barrett, though, says Jordan. I can hear so many of the crowd, they're not happy with this referee in a way. This game has been reffed. And see you later. Awesome commentary. You got to go shopping. Well, hopefully you do enjoy your shopping trip. Oh, Charlie Kale knocks that one on. Naito Akoi to e Tenainana Suturo. Now down to just about 12 minutes left. The Highlanders need Kiwi Rob and his expertise, particularly around lineouts. Here's Jason. Run with D-Mac as he gets... Oh, he got to slow down. Well, he's got to slow down so everyone can catch up. By the way, he thinks... Oh, bit of a fumble there from McKenzie, and that one's gone off the side of the boot. Nice take from Hudson Crichton. Frost was frustrated there. He felt like that was his catch to take. And when is the crowd ever happy with the ref? Says Big Rig. Yeah, that's a fair point, isn't it? Valentini to Muirhead. It won't be a 50-22, but it will be a good kick in behind. Bouncing up 10 metres short of the Chiefs' try line. Jacob doesn't find touch. Instead, does actually end up going right down the middle of the field. Brumbies with a counter-attacking chance. 12 minutes left now on the clock. Kale cuts inwards. Tackled by Xavier Rowe, who's made his way on for Cortez Ratama. Now Bowen. Lonergan. I wouldn't be surprised if they play Lonergan for the full 80 here. Definitely in a game so close. So they've got the option off the bench of Clayton Thornton. I think it might actually be the same. I don't know if you stick Edmund out there. It's been a little bit inconsistent for the Brumbies so far. I feel like that's the last thing you want in this type of scenario. Now Lonergan going back to the left-hand side again. Andy Muirhead now thought about the ball on the outside. Coyotes. Now left. Lonergan. Goes to Valentini, I think it was that time. Yep. Back across to the left. Now Raymer. Thought about offloading it, and he does. It's gone backwards, says the referee. And it's the try down the wing for the Brumbies, which makes it 24-24. This game is not over. The Chiefs, they did so well early with their defence, but now they are running just rampant down the wing here, the Brumbies. Oh no, says Pro Pleb. Now we have got there 10, says Jasmine. And 8 says bad there. Someone pointed out the Hurricanes had a test tight head out injured, replaced by a backup test tight head. It was replaced by an AB's wider squad tight head, says Nocturnal. Oh, sorry, it says Nocturnal. I don't know what I said the first time when your name came through, but I didn't say Nocturnal, did I? We have got there, I think I just saw a knock on before the next try. That was close to one from Valentini there. Still nicely done on the short side. Geez, I beg you get a try. And well, game on, says Cody. And Lonergan with the lead now for this Brumbies team. I thought this would be a wipeout by the Chiefs, says Pro Pleb, and the Brumbies in front. I knew it, Chiefs, says Arian there. Close to the touchline there, but keeping in the field of play. Once again, I don't think you can take either Meredith or Lonergan off now. Who scored, please, Hamish? It was Declan Meredith, the man who crossed the try line. 9 minutes remaining. I think you keep the same setup. Tingblad tore his ACL. He did, didn't he, after getting that big opportunity. Charged down there. Valentini taking it back into his in-goal area, but then still being able to drive his way out. She's unreliable. Says bad to the bone. And Brumbies have come back into this game since Jacob has come on at 10, although Jacob did get the assist of the Chiefs try. I think that the Chiefs, maybe just all of those tackles that they made in the first half have slightly caught up with them here. Ignore my comment, says Drizzy. Where was it? Oh, Brumbies W, not a fan of McKenzie. Sorry, I missed it there. We also missed the one, a couple above it with the Chiefs. I beg you get a try. Our game on. Says Cody. So, yeah, it wasn't on purpose, Drizzy. It's just one that snuck through. Got a bit of attitude after by the looks of it. Call someone else in. And then they have some in the Bravehearts. And also unreal, says Mark Allen. And that is a disaster for Team Glad and for Otago, says Nocturnal. Now, big advantage going the way of the Chiefs. Do you take a 3-pointer here? It's going to be against Nick Frost. And unreal, says Mark Allen. D-Mac will pull some magics out of the magic hat. Right, they're going corny here. We have got their good commentary, bro, but I don't like rugby, says Drizzy Goat. And also D-Mac with a 50-meter penalty to win. So that would be saying that they don't score now, the Chiefs, right? Now ready for the line out, Tyrone Thompson. Important one here. Brumbies, will they send someone up in this line out to contest? They don't. Nice take from Naitoa Koi. It's got defence at the moment from the Brumbies. 1-0 goal kick. It was closer to the sideline, but it still could have been a 3-pointer for them. Rowe goes back to Quintupai. Now Liam Coons-Fabling across to McKenzie. Breaks through one tackle. And then dragged down by Corey Tall. Over the ball. Pritchard is on it. Pritchard wanted the steal, but the referee says no. Now Xavier Rowe, big chopping tackle on the knees. And there's an advantage. No, that was just the referee saying the ball went backwards. That time it's knocked on though. Ryan Lonergan from just out from his own goal line will kick this one way downfield. He's got a long boot and he's certainly used it there. The Chiefs having to retreat to their own 22, picked up by McKenzie, who's got 3 men in front of him, sees it as a challenge, passes off to Leroy Carter, who cuts back in round 2. Now the Chiefs are back, baby, says Heptagonal Ghost. Offside is a massive call coming from someone. I'm not sure who is yelling into the ref's microphone there. Back to the Hurricanes, though. My team put a 50 points. Let's go. Charge down. That'll be the penalty awarded to the Chiefs for offside. Crowd not happy about it, but 6 minutes remain. The Brumbies currently still leading by the 2. Now, interestingly enough, ladies and gentlemen, the last 5 times that these two sides have played, only one of them has been at GIO Stadium. And that game was back in 2023, in which the Chiefs were able to get themselves the victory during the regular season. Score in that game, I'm just getting it now. It was, no, that's not the one that I want. Was it 2024? One of the games between these two sides recently was very close. Maybe it was 2022, in fact. 38-28. No, that's not the one. Where's the match I'm thinking about? It was only separated by about 2 points between these two sides. I think it was in Canberra. The Chiefs are able to narrowly win that one. Now charging forward, Tupavai, looking for the offload to Naitoa Koi. Oh, and in off the feet there from Reimer. And now the chance to add the 3. Petrol price per litre is still less than alcohol per litre, says Jason. Okay, so we're not at the point where people put alcohol in their fuel tanks yet then. And go the Chiefs, says Reed. A penalty to the Chiefs. Take a shot at goal. And yep, they have called it for the posts. They've just mentioned very kickable range in this one. I can't watch, says Zakaya. We're crazy if the Brumbies win this, says Pro Plea. Well, they've just had a stronger second half, haven't they? Came in firing from about 55 minutes on. The Chiefs now with McKenzie. Normally clutch in these type of moments, but a huge amount of pressure in this situation for Damian McKenzie. Strikes it. That one looked like it came off the side of the boot, and he's missed it away to the right-hand side, McKenzie. The Chiefs have not won this game. And the Brumbies, they are still ahead by 2. He missed, says Mark. Where's the penalty out? It was 40 out in front. We clutched? Not yet. McKenzie ain't a 10, says Morgrel. And also, yes, D-Mac Rusty. That one's going to be kicked off as long as possible from the goal line dropout. Luke Jacobson running at the Brumbies now. And Matt back to missing under pressure, says Sock. Currently 3 minutes left on the clock, 26-24. in favour of the Brumbies after scoring tries in quick succession. Xavier Rowe, 3 minutes still. I thought the Brumbies would be weak now. Big line break for Simon Parker. This one would be an easier kick if they can get a penalty advantage from it. Yeah, the Chiefs rush defence on Quinn Tupaia. Off to Jacobson. The captain's got a step still left in him. And the Chiefs move their way into the 22. Now another collision there. And 2 out of 10 now, says Jasmine. It could be a very entertaining finish between these two teams. Xavier Rowe, cross to Naito Akoi, Ollie Norris, tackled by Raymer and Scott. And they don't get the steal. Everyone in the crowd thought that it was. I think the Brumbies all thought it was too. But play on still, the call from Berry. 2 minutes remain, 5 metres from the try line here for the Chiefs with the carry of, would have been George Dyer, I believe. At number 18 here, Naito Akoi. Repeated phase play just out from the 5 metre now for the Chiefs. Quinn Tupaia pops it across there. Tackled by Hudson Crichton. One big turnover will make the difference, but one big push from the Chiefs forwards could win them this game. Simon Parker calling for it. There was Quinn Tupaia, ball intercepted. Corey Toole. It's a foot race between him and McKenzie, and it looks like Toole should be able to win it. Yes, he does. The interception. Full field try from the Brumbies, and now the Chiefs may not even get themselves a bonus point from this loss. People have short memory about what DMAC has done at the Def in recent times, but that is a full field try for the Brumbies. Simon Parker fumbled in the breakdown, and that hesitancy and the delay meant that Corey Toole was able to rush up, get the steal, and go the full length of the field. His third of the season for Corey Toole, but I'm not sure any of them would have felt better than that one. Damn it, says Stanley. I should have gone for the drop, says Demon. And remember, love best 10 in New Zealand, says the Sporting Kiwi. I'm not going to lie, Brumbies at home game, says the AI underdog. And you can see there the celebration from James Slipper there too, knowing that for his 203rd Super Rugby game, his side are going to get themselves the win. And what a try, love intercept tries, says Zakaya there. So the Chiefs going from 24-7 up to losing this game more than likely 24-33, conceding a total of 26 unanswered points in the second half. And the kick has gone over too. There's still time for one more play. Tupaia with another intercepted pass at the wrong time. It was actually Simon Parker who did fumble the ball on the ground to try and pass it to Tupaia. The ball never got to him. And drop Parker now, says the Sporting Kiwi. It should have gone for the drop goal, or drop right under the post. And thanks, Hamish Boohoo Chiefs. Congrats, James Slipper, for the Brumbies win. And now the siren is sounding. The one's going to be a big knock on by the Brumbies. Drop ball. I think the Brumbies were just trying to finish this one off, but now it's in the hands of the Chiefs. Josh Jacob. Big wide cutout pass. They are still looking to get themselves the bonus point from this game. Carter towards the sideline. Question is, if you are the Chiefs, do you take a three-pointer? If you are in a decent position to get yourself that losing bonus point. I know, damn it, Naughty Parker, says JP. That one's kicked out on the full from the Chiefs. They decided to go for a cross kick. It does not work out. And that is going to be the end of this game, ladies and gentlemen. The win goes the way of the Brumbies at GIO Stadium. 33 points to 24. Funny thing is, Parker is the one who made the initial line break to get there, says Jordan. So it just shows how brutal of a game rugby can be, that you have a massive moment that almost won your side the game to then having the moment that certainly lost them it. Congrats, Brumbies, says Big Rig. We dropped Papali last year for Parker, says Sock, and also Chiefs choking on Horse. And Slips Legend, says Dunk, and keep it in hand, man. And Declan Meredith outplayed McKenzie. Declan Meredith had a phenomenal game of rugby here. Same with Ryan Lonergan. Those two were extremely pivotal in terms of where the Brumbies finished in this game. I don't think if they had the subs made early, the likes of Tane Edmed coming on and also Clayton Thorne, nothing against those two men, but I don't think they would have been able to close out the game in the same fashion that we saw with that last bit of impact from the 9 and 10 combination. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, we have got a few live streams. Now, some aren't necessarily confirmed as of yet. It's a maybe for that Fijian draw versus Reds game, as I will be away playing in a semi-final of cricket. So it all depends on what time that finishes and also if I can find a fill-in for that game. Alongside that, we've also got the game later on, Moana versus Crusaders. That one is, once again, if I get home in time, we will be covering it. If not, the first game will be Blues versus Waratah. So a couple 50-50s. And then maybe Bulls versus the Cardiff Blues tomorrow. Again, a little bit dependent on what ends up happening. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all for the next one.